Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we are taking a look at Cardano's ADA to see what's been going on most recently with the price action. Now as I get into this video, if you do find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you are going to be kept up to date with all the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, links in the description down below. We do a lot more technical analysis on various different altcoins in Discord. We also have a dedicated channel specifically for Cardano, so why not check it out? It's completely free. Links in the description down below. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Right, let's take a look here and what's going on most recently with this hourly chart and Cardano. So we were actually anticipating a pullback down. We were scoping this out a couple of days ago at about 76 and 76.5, right? That was kind of the area that we were looking at. Since then though, however, we actually started to move up. We actually had a move here that sent us higher than maybe we were expecting, right? We were trading inside this range and we were expecting some kind of breakdown. We had the breakdown and then we actually had a surge upwards, right? And the interesting thing about this is we actually have completion of this move just inside here. However, I think there's something else actually going on, and that is that this B wave actually is this high point, higher than origin, and this C wave is actually down here. Okay, so it's a big ABC move. Now, when we jump up into a 4-hourly chart, it would make a little bit more sense that we actually have that expanding flat correction. And I think that is kind of what's going on here. There's a lot of noise in the middle. As we said, we were trading inside this area. The market didn't know what to do. It broke up along with the rest of the market and then broke on down. But this then leads us into thinking about what's going to happen next here, right? We obviously can see that we either have an ABC moving upwards or we have an ABC potentially moving downwards. And I think with this flat correction, it actually means that we are looking for an upward move. So I think we are tracking something like this: A wave here, B wave, and then a C wave, right? And what I can do is I can measure out a few different things here. What this does mean, however, that this low point that we just had over here invalidates the lows. It is still possible that we come down into this range of 76 cent based on a larger play on an 8-hourly or daily chart. And you can kind of see it here. However, that would be invalidated if we were to go higher than 86 cent. Okay, so we also be mindful that this is still in play. This low point is still very much valid, but it isn't necessarily something that we're going to see just yet. Okay, so we'll just kind of leave that there for a moment and think about that, at a later stage. So what we're going to be taking a look at is this move to the upside. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to grab a hold of our Fibonacci retracement tools, and we're going to measure the distance here from the upper end to where we've retraced to currently, which is right about there. And I'm going to just move it over here to the side for a second. The other thing that we want to do is we also want to check where we are retracing to. Okay, and I'm going to move that here, and you can see that this is basically the 618. Okay, so we've retraced 61.8% of the move up. This is actually a really good area. So if we can stabilize around this area without dropping past the 618, that would be good. But we also have the ability to pull back down right into the support of 78.5, which I think is possible with the stochastic RSI where it is right now. Okay, so if we do come down and lose the 618, do expect us to kind of find ourselves on the 786. Okay, that would be about 78.5 cent. Okay, that would be the range just down here, and that would actually then complete the B wave. I would anticipate that should take us into the oversold area on this hourly chart, and then we go up into the C wave high. Okay, so if we do manage to stay above the 618, then what we have here is an A wave up, a B wave coming down to the 618, and a C wave potentially taking us out towards 83.2 cent. If, however, we do drop down lower towards our support level of 78.5, then our target actually does become 82.6. Okay, so we should be aware that this B wave not being complete right now, we have the ability or the possibility of dropping down a little bit lower. We should find support. This is an area that we had previously found a lot of buying activity on. Okay, so lots of buyers down here. So that should actually be a good bouncing position, a good support level for us, and then we move on up. Okay. Now, if we were to actively trade it, I would probably be looking at entering this market anywhere between 78.7 and 70. 8.4, with my stop loss being just lower than that A wave. So if we were to drop down lower than 77.5, I would probably cancel out the trade. Now, if we just look at this 618 and assume it holds up to that target of where the C wave is currently sat, that would give us about a 5% push on the portfolio, so a pretty good bump there. And if we were to pull back down lower, I still think we would end up in a very similar position here, about 5.1% on that as well, okay, completing the move. But I would also anticipate that if we end up dropping down towards the level of 78.5, then we'll find resistance right here at 82.1, meaning that we'll actually probably look to get out at about that point, with a 4.5 or 4.6% profit margin. Okay, so if we were thinking about trading, that's probably what I would be doing. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot offer you financial advice, but this is what I would be doing personally myself. It is important that you do your own research and come to your own financial decisions. I cannot do that for you. Okay, so that's kind of the short-term play. Once we kind of see this ABC play out, we would expect downside, and I think that downside then actually completes our lower move here, taking us, towards that 76-cent range, finish that C wave, and then we get a bigger ABC on a larger time frame to the upside. Now, as we take a look at the 4-hourly chart, we can see that we're not overbought, so we've got room to grow there, which is good. The 8-hourly is in the mid-range, so plenty of room to grow. The daily chart is almost in the ground, so again, that's actually a pretty good position to see long-term value here. The weekly is completely in the ground, so we're heavily oversold after seeing such a fantastic expanding flat correction on our weekly chart. This is now completed as far as I'm concerned. I'm not expecting us to go down lower there, but it's possible, but it's very unlikely at this point. Technically, the expanding flat correction has finished, and now we can kind of launch up into that 5th wave higher. I know a lot of people have said, well, why does this not count as our 5th wave? It's not meeting the expectations of a 5th wave. So if we were to pull back down into this range, you can see here we didn't even make it to the 1.236 area on the Fibonacci retracement tool or extension. So it's pretty clear that that is not an impulsive move upwards there. So we got the all-time high. It looks like it was an A down, a B up, and then a C coming down lower than A wave, with B being above the origin position, ultimately creating an expanding flat. And then we go up into that 5th wave higher, where I would be expecting to see some kind of explosive, impulsive move upwards, right? So again, too soon to really say about that, but obviously with the stochastic RSI where it is, this is the, and I highlighted this before, right? Where we are here, and where we were previously are all before we got significant pushes to the upside. Okay, so right now that's kind of what we're thinking. We should be thinking about the fact that we are right at the rock bottom pricing, in my opinion. Dollar cost averaging around this area is something that I think is a reasonably good idea. I know that me and Chris have been doing that, but again, not financial advice, something that you're going to have to kind of look into yourselves before we get a push to the upside. Now, the monthly chart is also right down here in the ground. And this is actually a really good way of showing you exactly what I mean, right? So each one of these candles is 1 month, okay? And if we actually take a look at where we were over here, okay, so this is basically October, November 2019, before the crash of March 2020. And we are right now in the same place that we were back then, right? So we can see what happened when you're that heavily oversold. You go up into this overbought area for a very significant amount of time. So Cardano, it does look like it's getting ready to make big moves, not only from a fundamental point of view, but also from a technical analysis perspective as well. But do expect some volatility on the smaller time frame, guys. Ultimately, there's the markets right now, they are volatile. We are not, in some kind of super bullish state at the moment. I do think that is coming. I do think it is just around the corner. So take advantage of what you can during these moments of volatility before we just end up going into a really impulsive FOMO stage as we start to head up into new all-time highs, in my opinion. Guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done and out of the way, hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.